Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Jordan. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I want to talk about something that I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, and it's the reason why I stopped skateboarding. But first, before we get into it, I just want to say that I'm very happy that I've helped so many of you out there learn how to ollie. It honestly brings me joy. I love going through the comments and reading about how much it helped and how like the little trick about jumping made a big difference, because that's something that I noticed 4 years ago when I was trying to learn how to ollie that nobody talked about, was you have to jump. Comment down below what trick you're trying to learn by the end of the year. A lot of you might remember this Walmart skateboard that I had in the ollie video, which I was getting roasted about, which is totally fine, I respect that. Well, shortly after that, I actually upgraded to this skateboard, which is like kind of a legit skateboard. So this is one that I've been using for a couple of years. Yeah, so I did upgrade. You all just never saw that, but the first reason why I stopped skateboarding is simply because I did what I wanted to do. I learned the tricks that I always wanted to learn. And I know it might sound basic, but ever since I was little, all I wanted to ever learn how to do mostly was kickflip, but also ollie, and then ollie while moving. And learning how to ollie was the hardest part, which I learned first, of course. Then, a year later, in 2017, I learned how to ollie while moving. And then finally, I also learned how to kickflip, and that for me was like one of the biggest goals that I wanted to accomplish. So I did all of those things that I set out to do. And another one that I had in the back of my head was learning how to grind. And I worked in the mountains for a few years, which is why I have that deck with the bears on it. And there was nothing to do with there was no Wi-Fi, nothing like that. So all we would do is skateboard, and we had a rail out there, and I learned how to grind. So reason number two, which I'm sure a lot of you out there will agree with me on, is the fact that skateboarding is freaking tough. Just learning how to ollie or even just ride is very difficult, and if you do not keep up consistently and do not practice a ton, you will never improve. And in fact, sometimes you can't even do the stuff you used to be able to do if you don't practice all the time, because it is very difficult. The winters are really long here in Canada, okay? So I wouldn't be able to skateboard outside or anything for like 6 months at a time, and there's not really much places here to skateboard indoors. So I would go without skating for months on end, and then when I'd finally get back into it, I was so off. I felt like I completely was starting new, and I didn't remember how to do anything. I could barely ollie. I would forget how to do certain stuff, and it always made me very angry, because I'm like, I could do this last year, why can't I do it now? The third reason relates kind of to number one and two put together, is the fact that I just got into different hobbies. So I started gaming a lot more. I was working all the time, especially in the summers doing landscaping, so therefore when you're working 10 hours a day, you don't really want to come back home and skate.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
There's just other things that I found interest in, and I just really didn't have much room for skating anymore. With that said, I still do skateboard, but whenever I skateboard now, I just use my cruiser because it's a really fast way to get around. I've had this bad boy for a long time, like a really long time. Yeah, it's just smoother, it's faster than my other skateboard is, and I just don't really care about learning tricks as much anymore. And it's one of those things that I even have with gaming, is that once in a while, it's nice to just sit back and just watch some skate videos or some gaming videos, because you're watching people who are really good at what they do, so I can watch them and I can just appreciate the craft. I still like skateboarding and everything like that, don't get me wrong, it's just I personally don't do it physically anymore. I still watch skate videos a lot of the time. So as I just mentioned, those three main reasons, that's why I stopped skateboarding. But don't take this as like a negative thing, because I'm doing fine, and if all of you out there want us to keep skating, do it, because it is really fun, and it is a great workout, great exercise, and it's also a really great community. So that's why I'm super happy that I've helped a lot of you out, and don't take this as like, oh no, he just quit, because I've been doing a lot of other stuff instead, and I never really wanted to be a skateboarder. I just like to film little videos like that and little tutorials, but I was also a beginner. That was 4 years ago. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it answered some of your questions. I decided to make this video because I had some comments throughout the past couple of weeks asking why I don't skateboard, or like if I'm going to post skate videos or anything. So hopefully this clears it up and answers it a bit. And yeah, it was fun though. You guys have a good one. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Merry Chrysler.